helpless, faceless, and voiceless. And people can come out at any time and pick me up. That I am a woman doesn't mean that I am a criminal. That God created woman doesn't make me a criminal. I have a choice to wear whatever it is. I have a right to wear the hijab and another have a right to wear mini or not wear anything at all. It is every one of us fundamental human rights. You do not have any right in any way whatsoever to label a woman prostitute because of the way she's dressed. And let me tell you something. We are all called prostitutes. Our mothers were called prostitutes. Our grandmothers were called prostitutes. The moment you have a voice, they call you a prostitute.
Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. I'm actually going to be talking you through some clips because there's a lot that you need to see and digest. It's actually going to be a very long video, so please prepare for this. It's almost like a mini documentary of the Abuja raids on women.
The raid on the nude nightclub by the FCT administration's joint team took place at the very deep of the night. A good number of the nude dancers were led out into a waiting FCTA bus. Most of them were seen struggling to quickly put on their dresses as they were led out of the nightclub. Some were, however, not lucky. They were led into the vehicle fully naked, apparently because they could not reach out to their clothes before the task force moved in. Our cameraman caught this naked dancer who refused to follow the officials being carried into the waiting bus. However, some came out of the club insisting that they only came to watch and have fun, denying that they were not among the nude dancers. Attempts to speak with the ladies were not successful as they were covering their faces and walking away. A worker declined to speak on the matter, saying he needs to obtain permission from his employer, whom he claimed is not in the country at the moment. Coordinator of the Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, Umar Shaibu, says the raid on the nightclub was occasioned by a series of petitions and complaints from residents in the neighborhood. He said the owner of the building used for the nightclub got an approval from the Department of Development Control for a clinic but changed the land use.
The building plan approval granted was for the development of a health clinic.
Why was it only the women that were picked up, like why that you see getting dragged out? They tell you that the owner of the club was out of the country. Okay, what of his manager? What of his other officials? Because the noise and the building permits, those other issues pertain to the owner and the club, but you only seem to have focused on arresting the women. I was able to work on this because I work for FIDA Nigeria, so I was the one sent out to represent FIDA and monitor the trial.
But FIDA is here now. Why can we not? Why can we not represent them? Please, you can leave. These people are friends. Sorry, we are lawyers. I know, please, you can go. They called us, we are lawyers. Please, you can go the other side, please. Yes.
This place, I beg, I don't want to see anybody.
Most of them had no access to legal representation. Most of them didn't even understand the charges that were being brought against them. You actually see the charge that was brought against them. It is so sad, like offering your bodies as articles of trade by soliciting for men for commercial purpose at road junctions, contrary to section 35(1)(d) of the AAPB Act of 1999 and punishable under the same act. Any person who sells or displays or offers or carries for sale any goods or articles of trade in a road junction or any other unauthorized place
For her part, the Acting Secretary for Social Development Secretariat, Sefia Umar, says government remains committed to helping the ladies start life anew.
We have given them an open bill to come to us so that we can give them skills. And then the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory is always willing to give them the starter pack. The issue is that we hope they will learn.
When you hear this woman from the Social Development Secretariat and how she's talking about women, as far as she's concerned, women don't have any value outside their reproductive facilities and their marital facilities.
To see that the society is egalitarian, isn't it? Yes. So, if we have a distorted situation in the society, especially over women that are caregivers, caretakers, that are expected to be mothers of the nation, that is very, very, very detrimental to the society, because they are expected to tomorrow be mothers, to keep their children, to give them the right.
Of this club thing, the most hated, the most vulnerable are women, because they patronize these places, and at the end of the day, they are being bastardized by men. And at the end of the day, they end up on the streets with substance abuse, selling their bodies, and coming back with a lot of problems to the Social Development Secretariat. Having children, throwing them in the dustbin, selling children. We are just only trying to a kind of rehabilitate and send or impact the values of the society on the woman.
It all started on Friday, what happened on Friday night, being on the 6th of April. I was invited for a birthday party in Becca apartment. When we went at the lodge, I was inside the apartment, inside the hotel. After putting on the cake and eating, I came out to get the bottled water at the reception. The next thing, I saw the woman just held my hand, slapping me, pushing me out with force. I was like, madam, what happened? Immediately I came out. Look at cameras, people that just be outside doing, those videoing us with their personal phones. They even went to the extent of dragging a girl's clothes up and snapped her naked. And innocent girl that was putting on a long skirt. They really harassed us that day. They were paying off people that they brought to come and arrest us. They paid them off. They all went off before they took us down to Ovako police station that night. We were up to 71 girls. They paid 60 and left only 11 girls inside the cell. We were begging them to let us go. We were even asking them of our crime. Instead, they would end up beating us up. Honestly, it was very, very painful. Imagine, I was on my period. I even asked my fellow policewoman to give me a pad or anything to turn up myself. The woman was asking me, what do you want me to do? I don't have a pad to give to you. Okay, I don't know how come my sister knew and she brought pad for me. I was changing to change myself. A policeman had to follow me inside the cell room. He was taking my nakedness. I had to change my pad. Honestly, it's unfair. This is exactly in Nigeria is unfair. We are not even girls standing on the street. Even girl. What is their problem? Is everybody's like everybody has his own right to live. We are pleading on the human right to come and help us out. From Otobo station, they are maltreating us, beating us up. There's no policeman. They call him. They address him by Obayelo. He has to slap me when I was compulsing him to give me my phone. I want to talk to my people. My parents don't know I'm here. I need to talk to them. The next thing he did was to slap me. He reported this police pass. They were using that passing on us. They had to put us up that day.
Do you think that imprisoning these women, violating their rights, molesting them, subjecting them to degrading treatment is going to do anything to actually empower them?
Me, we don't sleep or say, where to say my friend. And you don't, they walk outside. This is where I better. I don't sleep on the day. With nothing they do again.
I now got to see firsthand some of these violations occur just from the most basic things. Like, okay, in this clip that you're about to see now, the officer is taking the woman's statement, and but he's taking the statement, and okay, he wanted her to sign, and she's like, oh, she wants to read the statement. So she's reading the statement, and she notices there's an error in the statement. So she's bringing it to his attention, and this is his reaction.
You're suffering yourself, not me. Not the best if I finish your statement. Now I book my movement. I'm going anywhere.
So what was this 2 a.m.?
What did they do?
I also attended Zuba Secondary School, Abuja.
Where 2 a.m.? This 2 a.m. See, if you cannot sign, wait. If you cannot sign, wait. After you sign.
No, let me sign that. Sorry.
She go to school. Sorry,
sir.
Wait for me. I statement for you. You tell me actually.
No, I need to
do you know when I go to school, we're not born. Your mother said they never been married. What are you talking?
Please. Sorry, sir, please.
Look at the women that now came out of like the station. Is this really provocative dressing? Like,
if we go around to see what is happening in the city, you discover that men are properly dressed. So when a man is properly dressed and he's moving, what do you have in stock with him? A woman will leave her hair open and wear close to no cloth, just a pint and a brassiere, walking. You think she is mental. Most times you say you apprehend women, you don't apprehend men. But I'm sorry, my daughters, to say that men are smarter than us.
The head or the acting secretary of our social development secretariat shouldn't be saying and doing things that are disempowering to women. She should be empowering women.
Now what for you? It is say when we talk and it is say na joke with the talk.
Since guys see girls where they say they don't do anything.
Now what for you?
They say if you don't play guilty, they go jail us to that. They even write receipt to give us the receipt of the thing where they now one kind receipt, I don't know where they carry and come and use and they confuse me.
No wonder the women have no more trust in our criminal justice system. And when you compare that trial that you saw in the last clip and the police, the treatment of the police in this clip, it makes you just wonder, are our systems really functioning properly?
I don't see tomorrow how the girls will feel comfortable to even call and say, okay, I have a problem. When
that's what they were saying. Do you know
the brothel owners pay police officers monthly allowances. I have to stop it. If you're actually arresting these people and you're not demanding for money, I'll say okay, fine. Or there's a law backing what you're doing, I'll say okay, you're actually doing your work. But there's no law supporting you. And see that girl that they picked up with her suit.
So that she's doing inside keke.
Okay, that's why I asked, where is the keke and the other passenger?
Yeah.
They bailed themselves out and left. They've paid money.
They paid, so that one is okay.
It doesn't make sense.
As mentioned, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board is also involved. Ones that are, carrying out these arrests, because they also have an element which they will claim in public is noise pollution, but then in private it's also moral policing.
Abuja Environmental Protection Board, we clean the solid waste, we clean the liquid waste, we remove sundry nuisances on the street of Abuja. That is, hawkers, traders. The issue of the nightclub that came more prominently is all about noise pollution. What concerns my board is noise pollution.
Culture in Nigeria, there is no religion in Nigeria that allows a man or a woman to be naked and start dancing in the public.
But sir, sorry, can I now come in? There is also no law that prohibits it. There is no law prohibiting it.
There is so many laws.
Such as which one?
So many laws.
So Such as which one? Because that's the you're mentioning culture and religion, but law.
So naked, we can watch you. You can. This is a club place.
Come to club, you see me naked. Come to club, you can see me naked. Come to my house, you can see me naked. But I cannot be naked.
The point is choosing. Did I choose to be naked?
I agree. North is in Nigeria. North is part of Nigeria, but we don't accept that. We have our traditional laws. We have our customary laws that does not allow a woman to dehumanize women. The humanization of women is not allowed here in the North. I don't know in your own side of the country if it's allowed there. Maybe you can pack them, take them there, let them all be naked and start this. But here in the North, that's an act of immorality. We don't allow that.
How many religious activities are there that violate noise standards or noise regulations in this country? How many trucks do you see and different vehicles violating air pollution in this country, but you decide to go to a club and pick up women? Like, let's be real, like, it can't be just me that's seeing this thing. So a bunch of concerned Abuja residents, CSOs, individuals, came together and wrote to the Human Rights Commission like a petition to say that these raids on women have to stop.
And everyone agrees that we have to do something about this urgently. And that's why we are here. And my colleagues will agree entirely that the reason why we are calling for a public inquiry and asking that there should be directives issued to all the persons that have been involved in this is that this is a continuous violation or a continuing violation. As recent as yesterday night, we got reports that there were arrests again in Guarin Park. So what that tells me is that something has to happen, and has to happen quickly, which is the reason why we are doing what we are doing.
The Commission stands with law enforcement agents or whoever works for government. You must carry out their responsibilities with full respect for human rights. Whether it's the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, whether it's the Federal Capital Territory Administration, whether it's the Nigerian police, whether it's the Nigerian army, whether it's the civil defense. Whatever duties they have been assigned to do in this country, they must carry it out with utmost respect for human rights. Otherwise, that is an illegitimate duty. Past, if there are endemic issues like this, we have carried out public hearing on it. I think we need to deal with this issue once and for all. This is not the first time it's happening. Dorothy's case also happened sometime 2 or 3 or 4 years ago. Several times, right? And we fought it together with her. And I'm surprised that in 2019 this case, exactly the same thing is coming up again.
As government agents, your capacity can also be built to see how you can carry out your duties with respect for human rights. We don't take it for granted. It's just to raise your consciousness and build your skills to see alternative ways you can still achieve the same thing. And that is the benefit all of us will take. Because anybody can be a victim. Anybody can be a victim tomorrow.
Jumped into the club with the guide. I don't know how they got into the club, leaving us out. And while we were there trying to like get in, policemen and women came from nowhere and barricade, like I don't know if the word is barricade, but they blocked the area and we couldn't get out. They just said, you, everybody kneel down, you, enter. And I was so confused. I was like, please, I came, they did not want to hear anything. They packed all of us, put us in a pickup like Hilux, back of a police Hilux car. They put us there like, packed us like sardine at the back and said that we are prostitutes. And when I was about to get into the car, one of the guys tapped my ass. I turned back, I was so shocked and annoyed. I was like, why would you? He was like, I beg, not be a shower, be something business. I'm like, I was so confused. Mind you, I'm wearing a midi-length dress, like crossing my knee. So I was like, what is going on? I was so like this just proves that no matter, it doesn't matter what you're wearing, you can still get assaulted. Meanwhile, they're like, show us your ID. If you claim you're not a prostitute, show us your ID. And me, at that point, I didn't have my ID on me, my law school ID. So I was like, oh my God, I don't have my law school ID. And none of us had our law school ID because we were friends and they knew we were together. So if one person had their law school ID, we would have exonerated 3 of us. But no one had their ID. And they're like, sorry, but okay, if you claim you're not a prostitute, why are you not with a guy? Apparently, I didn't know that in Nigeria you have to be with a guy if you're going out at night. You must have a male company, if not you're a prostitute. Can you guys like reason this? Because I was honestly confused. So they took us to an old papa ground. That's what the place is called. It's like a field, and we're going to have an open court there, like court proceedings. We get there, we see one fake looking lawyer and some guys. They're really going to have like an open court there. So they put us as a group and they're like, guilty or not guilty, they'll read out the charge, like what you're charged for, procuring, aiding, soliciting for sex, something like that. And you're supposed to say whether you're guilty or not guilty. So they keep doing it and it reaches our turn. And I'm like, oh no, I'm going to say I'm not guilty because I'm not going to let this go down in record. This is nonsense. And one of the guys that is trying to get us out says, don't say that. Our lawyer is like, we should plead guilty. Can you imagine? The lawyer they got was like, we should actually plead guilty. So we plead guilty, like seriously, because if you don't plead guilty, they're going to keep you there. They're going to keep holding you. And I cannot go back to that cell. So I said guilty. The smart thing I did was I didn't put down my actual name. I put down a fake name. Took down a fake name, pleaded guilty and left.
Wow, we have to be on this matter and we actually need reform. Like, we actually have to train our police officers, our environmental officers, our, you know, look at the like social development staff. Why are you there? Like, is that really social development? Like, why AAPB, are you really meant to be going into nightclubs and picking out women? Like, how does that help noise pollution? Turn off the music. So, I don't know, can you guys just let me know what you think about these clips that you've seen here? What do you think is the way forward? What do you think, you know, how can we progress? Do you believe that there's actually going to be a difference? I'm actually going to be filming a Q&A with Jennifer, who is the lawyer on, like, the other lawyer on this case. You know, if there's any other thing you kind of want to know from us about the case, or you know, about the women in particular, or about the legal aspect of, you know, the raids, just leave a comment as well, or send me a DM. Maybe this conversation can be that small change that causes like a larger effect.
My walk and my talk been different. My style and my thoughts been different.